folks, Josh here, one of the designers on Carbone Electra. Right now we're going to look at using the step envelope to modulate various parameters. Over here you can see in the bottom left corner the step envelope. You can modulate amp, which is your output volume, the cutoff, which is your filter, and you can either modulate the pitch of oscillators 2 and 4 separately, or if you click note, you modulate the pitch of all the oscillators together. It effectively acts like a small sequencer. So let's start off by getting a sound. Over in the mixer section, I'll put up oscillators 1, 2, and 3, and we'll get a bit of a nice rich sound by changing the oscillators to oscillator 2 to a waveform sound, oscillator 3 to a sine wave. There's our sound. Let's drop oscillator 2 down an octave. And maybe detune them a little bit for a bit of width. I like to put the sustain up full in the amp envelope and the release down fairly low. Okay, there's our sound. So over here, down here in the step envelope, you can see that we have 16 steps, and the filled in little boxes down the bottom show you how many steps we're using. Let's start off by dragging towards the left and just using 2 out of our 16 steps, and then it'll just keep cycling back. The step envelope automatically runs in time with whatever door you're using. Over here you can see it's 16ths. You can change it to whatever time fraction you prefer. Let's drag it down to eighths for the moment. And the simplest way to see it is probably to make it affect the amp. So I'll put amp up full. And here on the wave selector you can see it's currently set on level. You can drag through to various shapes. Let's start off with level. Put step 1 on full, step 2 down to nothing, and it sounds like this. So that's running in eighths in time with my door. If I jump it up to 16ths, if I click trig, then it'll re-trigger from the start of the step envelope every time I play a note. And because we're in mono, no matter how many notes I add underneath that, doesn't matter when I add them, once we've started our stepper cycle going, it'll just continue going. It won't re-trigger for each note. If we take off mono, it'll sound like this. Each note is starting its own cycle within the stepper. So for the time being, let's put it on mono, and we'll leave it on trig. If we look at another shape, say the sine wave shape, and that actually can be quite nice, something like that sound if you're not in mono and you play the notes kind of out of time with the stepper. You get a kind of shimmering effect. So you can get a great effect there. So that's how it sounds working on the amp section. Let's have a look at how it sounds on the cutoff. If we double click on amp, it'll reset to 0. Let's set the cutoff to full, and in the filter section, pull the cutoff down to 0. Let's pull this back to eighths again. So there it is, affecting the cutoff. Try a different shape. So we like the shape that we've got, but we want to change it a little bit. If you scroll all the way through to the end, you get edit, and you can double click on anywhere in each little waveform and each step and change the shape of that step. You can move your breakpoints, all sorts of edits. So we put a bit of resonance in our filter and pull down the effect a bit. Great. Now let's have a look at how we can use it as a kind of sequencer. Let's select note, and if we play a note, we'll put our cutoff back up, bring our resonance down. That's a bit wild, so let's go to level, and we'll put in a few more steps. That's 4 steps. Let's start off. Now you'll see that when it's on note and it's on snap, every time I add it, it's snapping to semitones. So up here in the information panel, you'll see step envelope, and there I've just put it to 8 semitones, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on. So let's start off with 0 semitones transpose on the first step. We'll go to 3 on the second, 7 on the third, and 12. Let's increase the rate to 16ths. And there you can see that's how you can use it as a small sequencer. And then, so that's if you use the level wave, that's the easiest way to write simple tunes. If you want something a bit more wild or complex, you can put in shapes like that. And that's a basic look at the Carbone Electra step envelope.